You are listening to The World as I See It podcast. 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 As I See It podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The World as I See It podcast. I'm super excited that you are here with me for episode 28. If you have been listening for a while, you know that this is a space where I share my honest thoughts and my perspective on life. And today I'm going to be diving into a topic that I feel is very personal, is very honest, and is very deep. If you are new here, I hope that you find something that resonates with you. And if you have been with me for a while, I'm glad that you're back as I share more of my perspective. So, a listener asked me a really good question recently. And I will be honest, it has been a hard one for me to answer. They asked me, would I rather stay blind or be able to see? They wanted to know which one I would pick and why. So, when people ask me things like this, I feel like they usually expect a simple yes or no. You know, they think that I should either hate being blind and want sight immediately, or say that I love being blind so much that I would never change it. But the truth is, I cannot just give you just a for sure yes or no answer. You know, it's a lot deeper than that, and it's something that I've had to really sit on and think about and sit with. So, I've been blind my entire life, and this is the only reality that I have ever known. And I want to be real with you. Yes, you've heard me say this before. There are days where blindness is hard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it is easy every single minute, because it's not. There are days I wish that I could see. There are moments when I think about the simple things, the stuff that most people do not even think twice about. Like, there are days I would love to just have that freedom of getting in the car and going to drive somewhere whenever I want. And yes, I am very grateful for my family and friends who will drop everything to get me anywhere I need to go. But some days it's still hard, because there are some days where I just want to be independent and just have that freedom of independence. And, you know, I think about how nice it would be to just decide to go drive somewhere, or look at a picture that someone is talking about, or even just look out the window and see the world passing by as I'm in the car. Just those simple everyday things you might take for granted, you know, like the sunset. There are days I would really like to see the sunset. But here's the thing. Even though I have those thoughts, I do not hate being blind. I do not want you to hear this and think that my life is a tragedy, because it's not. And I have said that on my podcast, and I will keep saying that, because I love the life that I have, and I love the people that God gave me to enjoy this life with. I truly believe that God has brought so many things into my life specifically to help me enjoy this this perspective of life and live it to the fullest, even when it's hard. You know, I think about the technology that we have now. I don't just use my Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses. You know, I also have different apps that help me navigate and assist me in my daily life. Whether it's identifying objects or getting directions, you know, I truly believe God provided those tools as a gift to help me interact with His creation in a way I never could before. It's like having an extra pair of help right there to help me manage my day-to-day life. Yes, sighted people could help, but I want that independence. I want to be as independent as possible. And it's not just the tech. It's the community and the people. If we didn't have teachers of the visually impaired or TVIs, I may not know how to use technology. If, we didn't have orientation and mobility instructors, it would be harder for me to learn how to navigate the outside world independently. And, I thank God every day for the community that I have. God brought SEKIA into my life. And SEKIA stands for Southeast Kids in Action. And let me tell you, we're not just sitting around in a room talking about being blind. We are actually out there in the world, trying new things and enjoying every single minute of it. It's a place where we prove that life doesn't stop just because you can't see. We are active, we are adventurous, and we are showing you can have a blast and be part of a thriving community. Now, here's the part that people do not think about. If I did get my sight tomorrow, it would be awesome. It would be amazing. I would be so excited. But let me tell you, it would be terrifying at the same time. Think about it like this. If you are sighted and you're listening to this, and one day you just lost your vision. Like you just woke up one day and it's gone. You can't see anything. Nothing. Essentially, it would be the exact same thing. Your whole world would be flipped upside down. You would have to learn how to adapt to a completely new way of living. You would have to relearn how to walk, move, and understand everything around you. For me, gaining sight would be that exact same mountain to climb. I've spent my whole life learning how to navigate and listen and exist in this world through touch and sounds. If I suddenly could see, I would have to learn how to adapt all over again. And here's something very practical you may not have thought about. So, since I'm completely blind, I do not have to use my eyes all the time. So that means that they're not always open all the time. Now, that's not saying that I don't ever open them, but I do open them sometimes. But I do not have them open all day long because why? Why would I? I don't need to. They don't help me, so what's the point? But if I just randomly got sight one day, I literally have to build up those muscles in my eyelids just to keep them open and look at the world. That's crazy to think about, but that's true. And my body is not used to that. It wouldn't be. It would be a whole workout just to keep my eyes open for 16 hours a day. And another thing, my brain would not even know how to process all of the visual noise either. Think about a grocery store. Okay, to you, it's just a place to get milk. But if I suddenly gained my sight one day and walked into a grocery store, it would be very overwhelming, I feel like. All those lights the bright colors on all the boxes, the signs, it would just be too much. It would be a sensory overload. It would be like starting life over from scratch. I would love to see color. The faces of my friends and family. That would be incredible. And I would love to have it. But it would be a lot to handle all at the same time. Blindness is not bad. I'm not just sitting here in my room thinking to myself, oh well, I'm blind and cannot do anything. No, that's not the reality. And that's what a lot of people assume, when that is just not the case. I'm living my life. I am active, I am loved, and I am happy right now with exactly what God has provided for me. So, with all that being said, I want to hear from you. Your voice is a huge part of why I do this podcast. I am always looking for ways to improve, and I want this to be a place where you can learn from my perspective while we grow together. If you are watching on YouTube, I need your help. So I have 2 different community posts up right now that I need you to check out. So you go to my channel and you click on the community tab and you will see them. So one is for feedback, but the other is a very important poll. For those of you listening on other platforms, I want you to read this poll. I will read this poll to you word for word so that you know what we're deciding on. So the poll says, what do you want to hear more of on the world as I see it? I'm planning the next set of episodes and I'm letting you decide what we focus on next. Which of these should I do? Option A, headlines that affect the visually impaired. This is something that I have never done before. This would involve reacting to news stories that specifically impact our community, like the rise of silent electric cars. Option B, more guest conversations. Should there be more interviews like the one that I did with Kaylee? This would feature more guests sharing their perspectives. Or option C, a brand new topic. Is there a specific topic that hasn't been covered on my podcast yet? You can drop your ideas in the comments if you're on YouTube or Spotify, or you can email me. So please go cast your votes. I want all of you to have a say in the future of this podcast and where these next few episodes go. For everyone listening, I put a list of questions in the show description and show notes. And for the YouTube family, I have them in a pinned comment as well as on the community tab. Please be honest. What do you actually, like about the podcast so far? What is one thing that I should change or do better? And what is a topic I haven't talked about yet that you're curious about? I really value your feedback. You can comment your thoughts below, or you can email me at theworldasISeeItpodcast@gmail.com. Your input ensures that I'm bringing you the content that you care about most. Thank you so much for your support so far, and thank you so much for listening this week. Stay curious and keep listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode.
You've been listening to The World as I See It podcast.